Well, we have our finalists. We have our final kicked off. It is Futefacil in the Barcelona kit, using Barcelona, of course, and SaifAlhacker 55, playing as Bayern München. Both players, of course, winning their groups in the stage previous, and it will be an early free kick to the man attacking left to right here, Wes.
Yeah, and again, as we always say in these types of games, you've got to get on top very early, especially with a one-game scenario rather than being a best of three.
Well, that's an early chance as well for Futefacil. He said, as usually it's best of three, there's just best of ones in this format, so you've got to keep your concentration levels throughout the entirety of the final. And because we need a winner, we will see extra time and penalties if they are so required. But best of ones, it's always important to keep your nerve, keep your concentration, and of course stay on top of your opponent. And early stages, Futefacil seems to be the one pressing the pace here.
Yeah, you've just got to as much as it is trying to feel out an opponent, in this scenario with best of one, you just need to get ahead. Get ahead and stay ahead. That would be the message to either one of these players or any of the players competing today. Get a goal, get ahead and stay ahead. That's all you've got to do to seal yourself as a world champion on your platform.
As the ball goes out of play, I think it's only fair we introduce our players here in the PlayStation final. We have Futefacil representing Barcelona, coming from Brazil. He's 21 years old. Was the winner of the IESF Americas in 2021, and in terms of professional eFootball players, his inspirations are his fellow countrymen Guifera and Henriquinho, hailing from Brazil, Futefacil, so he'll be hoping to do them proud. And he's on the ball here as well in a promising position, but his adversary here, SaifAlhacker, qualifying through the Asia, Oceania and other areas region. He's from Jordan, 23 years old. And he placed 6th in last year's eFootball Open as well. So here he is in the eFootball Championship Open World Finals. Trying to go one better than last year. Again, though, defending to do here as Ousmane Dembele threatens to break the lines. But just under 20 minutes gone, and our two world finalists are still all square here.
Yeah, and you talked about Futefacil's, kind of players he would look up to. There's a lot of very, very high-level players coming out of South America. Brazil, first and foremost, as you mentioned, Guifera and Henriquinho, we've seen of fame within the eFootball Championship Pro tournaments, past and present. But to have that kind of almost sparring partnership that you might have with some of those players, it's a great way to get yourself prepared for a game like this.
Well, the Brazilian has started this World Finals on the front foot, but SaifAlhacker from Jordan has defended well so far, it has to be said, settling into his first World Finals. And after placing 6th in this year's, or I should say this competition last year, he has a golden opportunity here to write his name into the history books. Lewandowski on that far side. First real attack of the game from SaifAlhacker. Half an hour gone. And Lewandowski on that far side again can maybe whip one in. This will be a corner to the Bayern man. Be Sane on the in-swinger. Defended well at the near post. Now Memphis Depay maybe can bring this ball away for Futefacil. Aubameyang on the run here. Maybe look to chop inside, but defended well once more by SaifAlhacker.
Yeah, you can see Futefacil just trying to catch SaifAlhacker just on the break there. Again, we talked at length during the eFootball Championship Pro Series in terms of the pace that some of these players have. Of course, they are still working underneath the same metrics that we saw there. So 2,300 team strength, having to work with that system and figure out exactly where you want to put your pace. But of course, with Barcelona, with Aubameyang, with Dembele, with players like that at your disposal, that counter-attack will be quite fluid and be quite quick.
Of course, we were so eager to get these World Finals underway, Wes, that we neglected to mention that. As you said, same rules applying to the eFootball Championship Open World Finals as they were to the eFootball Championship Pro this season. Lewandowski this time propping up on the near side. And this one, 5 minutes from half-time, will be a corner once more to SaifAlhacker. A pretty open first half. Edged to Goretzka. Gnabry inside! And it's the first goal of the World Finals! Serge Gnabry for SaifAlhacker has fired it home. The man who finished top of Group B on 6 points out of a possible 6 has struck first here in our World Finals.
Yeah, and it's an unconventional corner, if that makes sense. A lot of the time we see driven crosses into the box, and we see kind of near post headers. Instead, goes right to the edge of the box, catches them cold. Again, we see the dummy and the shot fakes just to open up, as we said, that shooting opportunity, that shooting lane. Ter Stegen doesn't get anywhere close to it. Gnabry pops it in the back of the net, and first blood goes to Bayern Munich, and the first time we'll see their game plan as well. As you can see, that kind of very narrow 4-3-3 that is almost stereotypical, I would say, when it comes to playing eFootball at the moment. You'll see it, as we can see now, a slight change to a more defensive nature. So maybe the case is trying to just get a goal and just stay ahead, which, whether that comes to pass and whether that is a good idea or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, the intent is clear, set up shop, and if you were watching, of course, you will notice that collective team strength has to stay under 2,300, so the rules being abided by, of course, by both our world finalists here on the PlayStation final. What does Futefacil have in the tank? Half-time approaching, so can't afford to give the ball away too many times, such as that. Here is Sabitzer. Skips past PK, no problem at all. Near side, going for the cross to Lewandowski. Back to Joshua Kimmich, who can strike from deep. It will be a corner to end the half here for SaifAlhacker, the Jordan representative from the Asia, Oceania and other areas region. Is finishing this first half very strongly indeed.
Yeah, he's trying to find that lane again, as you saw, just dummying, just trying to open the space. Ter Stegen was equal to it that time. But again, it's showing a bit of kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of nuance and trying to find something different.
Schüller at the front post, almost beating everyone. It's still alive here for SaifAlhacker as well, but the ball is cleared to signal the end of the first half. It is SaifAlhacker 1, Futefacil 0.
I think looking at what he needs to do next, I think it's just keep his composure. Yes, you've got 45 minutes. Yes, the clock is ticking, but you still have time. It's only a 1-goal deficit. We know how quickly these games can change with 1 goal. So let's just see whether he can keep his composure here.
Oh, Lewandowski forces a very improvised but very astute save out of Ter Stegen. Starting the second half off very fast indeed. PK even got something on that attempted pass, but Lewandowski was alert, and it will be another corner. Bookending the interval, it swung in but cleared away, this time at the near post. I'm still happy to venture forward was Saif, but that one has rolled out of play. We thought maybe when we were looking at his formation change that we would see maybe a bit more of a game controlling style, but there's some mistakes on both sides here, Wes.
Yeah, I think the nerves are starting to tell a little bit here, because again, like we said, you're in a best of 1 scenario, and for those at home who have watched eFootball or played even eFootball to a degree, you'll know that a 1-goal lead is incredibly delicate, as it normally is in real football. It's the exact same electronically. It's really delicate, and to steal a cliche that we always hear, the next goal is absolutely vital here. Again, if it goes the way of Bayern Munich and Saif, it basically means 2-0, potentially could lock the game off. If it goes to Futefacil, however, it then changes the dynamic of the game once more. So this next goal is vital.
Well, apart from the opening 15 or so in-game minutes, we haven't seen too much of note out of Futefacil, so he's going to have to get his wits about him here because time is slowly ticking against him. In possession now, though, with Pedri. All the way back to PK, but the press is coming from Bayern. And Saif needs to be careful because there's a deep run here from PK, who can control the ball and try and feed Aubameyang. PK is still in there. Controlled the situation well, did Saif, and Bayern again looking to break on that far side. Serge Gnabry on the inside, but PK, almost acting as a striker moments previous, is now back on defensive duties. Aubameyang. This is end-to-end stuff here. Ansu Fati. Who can he find here? Double touch inside, goes for goal himself. Still in his possession here. He's been brought down in the box. It's ricocheting around, and the referee has brought it back here. I think it'll be a bit of a let-off here for Saif, as it will be a free kick inside his own box. A frantic 10 in-game minutes there, Wes.
Yeah, I think that's the game plan now. Cause a little bit of chaos, as you pointed out. An auxiliary striker in Gerard Piqué. Again, it's an extra body in the box that's not being accounted for by this Bayern Munich defence. So, again, it's now a case of, can you find the space?
Well, the space threatening to open up in behind. 70th minute we've just ticked over into. So this is around the time of the game we expect substitutes. We expect changes. The question for Futefacil is, will they be impactful ones? The ball needs to go out of play first. Sane on this near side. Thought about galloping forward, but this is the mature thing to do. Keep the ball as long as you've got possession. Futefacil's going to find it very difficult. So the ball trickles out of play. No doubt a pause queued up here, and there it is. So time for changes here, Wes. I always put you on the spot in these types of scenarios, but what needs to change here for Futefacil? He's down 1-0. He's only got 20 in-game minutes to go. Do you just throw the kitchen sink?
Well, here's the quandary. Here's the riddle, as it were. When do you commit bodies? Because as we've seen time and again, you can commit bodies too early, and then you're left too short at the back. A team will counter you, and it's an easy goal. But if you can time it right, especially with the substitutes, we've just seen Adama Traore come on, who is not a slow player by any stretch, folks. If you've seen Adama Traore play football, he is as quick as anything. So you can see that there might just be an outlet there to get the pace and get that forward. And again, it's just about finding passes and executing.
Oh, well, there's one threatening in behind is Ansu Fati. As you said, look out for Adama Traore. Going to be playing over on that far side, the right-hand side for Futefacil. But if it's going to happen for him, it has to happen in the next 10 in-game minutes. And mistakes like that can't keep creeping in. Here is Traore. Just seems a little void of ideas at this moment in time. SaifAlhacker is 10 in-game minutes away from being our World Finals champion. And he has possession here as well. Sergio Busquets now into the final 5. Just can't seem to beat the first man with any of these passes, and once more it's Saif in possession. Lewandowski, his touch is heavy. Into the feet of Pedri now. Traore, he's got plenty of pace to burn on that far side. End product just lacking, and well, I wonder if that's going to be the last attack of the game here for Futefacil.
There will be 1 minute.
If Saif plays his cards right, this could well and truly be his name being carved onto the trophy, unless Futefacil comes forward. Aubameyang, Fati, back to Aubameyang! With what would have been the last kick! Futefacil has equalised. And I think, Wes, well, I can say with a certainty now, we're headed to extra time.
I'm nodding my head appreciatively in this virtual commentary box. What a time to pull that out. Again, it's just the pass and move. And again, there's no other chance here. There's no other opportunity. If that ball goes dead, it's game over. Instead, Aubameyang finds his way into the box. Fantastic finish. And now we're going to extra time.
As soon as this kickoff happens, I think the referee's going to signal the end of regulation. We are all tied up. A 92nd minute equaliser from Futefacil keeps his World Finals hopes alive.
At that point, it does become a literal lottery. It really does. But we've still got to get there first. We've got an extra 30 minutes. Again, we've seen it even in the pro leagues in terms of how violently the game can change in extra time here. So it's one to keep your eye on. There's fresh legs on from both teams. It's just a case of who can utilise that now, potentially get themselves a proverbial golden goal that could be worth its weight in gold.
So we're underway then, extra time between Futefacil and SaifAlhacker. 30 added in-game minutes to try and separate our two finalists. Our two young finalists, by the way. SaifAlhacker, just 23 years old, and Futefacil, 21. So a bright future ahead for both of these, but of course the future is now as they find themselves in the eFootball Championship Open World Finals for PlayStation. We still have the Xbox Finals, the PC and Steam Finals, and of course the mobile finals still to come. First, we have to separate these two, Wes, and well, that's a mistake here from Futefacil. Tolisso is in. Is there a square on? Lewandowski is giving chase, and Tolisso is just robbed. Just robbed at the vital moments. Still coming forward here is Saif, but that one is misjudged, mistimed, and miscommunicated, and that was a golden chance, wasn't it? And I tell you what, Futefacil is playing with fire here as well.
Very much so. But again, very, very cool in his approach, which in the sense of he's confident enough to take the ball under control, even in such a late stage of the game. And you know, we talk about these fine margins. How vital is that chance going to be there? You know, we also could then think back into regulation time. You know, the over-the-top through ball that landed to Lewandowski and he just slipped at the wrong moment. How important are these chances going to be in, you know, once we get to the end of this game? Because again, you might look back on them if you're safe and you might think, I could have done more. Yeah, at these stages, you have to leave everything out there. You have to leave everything out on the virtual pitch.
Well, the second period of added time, extra time I should say, is underway. The sides have swapped, but no immediate personnel changes that I can see. And you've got to be thinking about penalties at this point. You've got to think about your takers, but first and foremost, you've got to make sure defensively you're sound to even get to that point. It was Goretzka that time on defensive duty covering.
Sometimes you'll notice that the Bayern Munich players will kind of go back in swarm almost. It really does depend on what tactic you're playing to see what your players will do. Goretzka, though, certainly more defensive minded. You've got Joshua Kimmich that I'm seeing very defensive minded, and you can see they're just taking up positions at the moment. I think looking at the way that this game's going, it looks like it could be Bayern's to win here.
Could well, but Longley has robbed them of possession here. Depay in the centre circle. It's just very scrappy in there at the moment. Kimmich is trying to beat his man as Pedri for company. The 120th minute is fast approaching, so if there is going to be a winner, it has to come from this attack here. Traore looking to try and steal in behind, but I think the referee might just allow this to go on for one last attack. Is there a winner here for Saif? Lewandowski cannot get there in time, and we are headed to spot kicks. 120 in-game minutes could not separate our two world finalists. And it's time for pens versus Futefacil and SaifAlhacker. It'll be Futefacil up first. Aubameyang versus Neuer. Saved. That is a great way to start a penalty shootout if you're SaifAlhacker. Can he make it count though? It's Coleman. It's also saved.
Yeah, you'll notice with these goalkeepers on the lines, you'll notice they'll try and go more to one side to almost bait your opponent to go on, put it in the other side and we'll dive across and save it. You keep seeing it here as it's just gamesmanship really at this point.
So it's as you were. It's Memphis Depay versus Neuer. This time tucked away emphatically. So the pressure pendulum swings back towards Saif. There's a lot of power on it as Lewandowski steps up. And it's saved. It's a lot of power, but not enough elevation. Futefacil guesses right and gives himself the advantage here in the shootout. Fatty now for Futefacil. Saved by Saif. Only one penalty out of 5 scored so far. And of course, because we're watching the game from Saif's point of view, we'll see his marker, Sane, stepping up. And there's enough power to creep it in.
Yeah, and a point on the target that you keep seeing on your screen. Depending on how much power is depending on how big that circle goes. With the penalties within eFootball, the ball can go anywhere within that circle, so it's not a guarantee it's going to go exactly where you want it. So if you go full power, there is a bit of risk and reward.
Traore now stepping up. Another save. Saif is on fire right now in goal. His turn to take a kick with Tolisso to give him the lead going into the 5th penalty. It's also saved.
It's like we said, it's not enough to just put power on it. You're going to have to do a bit more, especially when these goalkeepers are moving around so much.
8 penalties, only 2 scored. Pedri now tucks it home, which puts all the pressure onto SaifAlhacker, the man from Jordan. He has to score this. The biggest penalty of his career so far. It'll be Leon Goretzka versus Ter Stegen. And it's saved. Futefacil has done it. It took penalty shootouts to separate the two, but our champion from Brazil is Futefacil.